Good morning, everybody. It is a cosmic day. I have been in the wormery checking on my breeder bins, and what I wanted to do is take a sample because I know they're a little bit on the wet side, and so the microbes in there are going to tell me exactly how much oxygen I got going on and not. So I want that to be the best soil it can be for the cocoons, because right now I'm just trying to really amplify my worms so that I can decompose as much organic matter as possible before, I guess, the spring, because this spring I'm going to want to extract all these microbes and put them onto the field. So they can begin working, especially on my plot. I'm going to put in 2 plots that will be completely low carbon plots this spring. I'm going to start applying these amendments this fall. So here's where I'm at this morning. Woohoo! We're going to the underground world, and this is a magnification total 100, and we're going to zoom around to the 400 total mag, and I want to show you what is living in the vermicompost bins. So what I had done was oh boy, now I gotta try to find her. There she is. We gotta move very slowly, but this is a nematode. So she is a bacteria feeding omnivore. So she's a predatory type. She will, I don't see a tooth. I should probably do some video. I am scrolling in and out, and I see a very wide mouth. Not really a distinctive tooth. So she's not 100% predatory, but she is a bacterial feeding omnivore, which means she'll eat on whatever she can get her hands on. She's beautiful. She's big, fat, healthy looking girl. She's in the soil doing her job. Hopefully she's going to eat the heck out of those mites I got going on. I made it a little too wet, added a little too much food, and the mite population has bloomed. So we'll continue monitoring the soil in there, and hopefully our predatory nematode, bacterial feeding omnivore nematodes, also their population will bloom, what are we going to call it, as a response to that action that I took with adding the moisture and the food in there. And then hopefully this, because it's a biocomplete ecosystem there, is going to take care of those overgrowths in any direction. If I can maintain these moisture levels to the best of environmental conditions. So, she's just rolling around there eating. This here is what you call a testate amoebae. And then there's all kinds of bacterial going around in here, and as we move around, you'll be able to see there'll be flagellates and ciliates. So right down here, I'm not sure, I'll get her in the view and see if we can zoom in. There's this little black dot here, and you see how it's kind of bumbling around. It's not going anywhere in any great big hurry, but it's just kind of bumbling around. It's hard to keep them in focus because they're constantly moving. So that's a flagellate. And she's in a little bit better focus. So when they go up and down within that water plane of the microscope, they come in and out of focus, which make them hard to see. So I guess we have our nematode there. Let's just scroll a little bit through the sample. I don't have a dilution factor on it. I just put some in the cup, and then I did dilute it down quite a bit. It's just so dark in color. That dark, rich color is the humic acids. So hopefully, I'm off the side of the slide now. Hopefully, this is going to be a really good fungal dominant vermi-compost. So we have something here. Couldn't get her in focus. Can't. She's flagellate. But you see the bumbling motion. That's your flagellate. Oh, big testate amoeba. Now that's a spirillum. And that's an indicator of a low oxygen environment here. Because, well, like I said, this is our breeder bins, which need a lot of moisture. So they're pretty wet, which isn't going to allow. So I need to add more chunkier material to that bin, probably. That's a testate amoeba. What she's doing out here, I'm not sure. It's a good question. There's another testate amoeba here. And then all kinds of bacteria. It's just loaded. It's loaded with life. If you want to talk about the God of the living. Holy moly. Let's stop putting anhydrous on those soils and killing all this beautiful, beautiful ecosystem. So here's an amoeba of some sort. I don't know if it's a stellate. I'd have to really see. Almost looks like there are they're little like hair-like structures that come out of them. We got testate amoeba over here. Ooh, somebody's zooming there. If you want a nice slow motion going on, anything zooming is going to really tell you you've got a low oxygen environment. But for the amount of life that we're having, it's a ciliate. See how she's zooming fast? She'll probably be zooming right on out of here. But she's got these cilia all the way around her. And that's what she's using to grab onto things. And she's pulling this water. She's making this vacuum to pull all this debris past her to decide what in the heck it is that she's going to eat or what she wants. Got some other things that you could look at here. But you could go on forever in this. That looks like it's a possible Cercozoa with an opening on this side. She's really working that. Okay, I don't want to keep you on film for a whole long time. I just wanted to show you what's been going on. I'm monitoring these bins. You've seen the towers from my first video. And I'm just going to keep going deeper and deeper into the microcosmos. And I'm going to try and take you all along in this journey. Take you along with me. This is ciliate here. She's just working all around these aggregates. And she's going to be creating nitrogen by doing that when she eats that. And hey, there goes another one. Testate amoebas, testate amoebas. This is another ciliate. She's a race car. See her? How fast she goes. Right here looks like a beneficial fungi. Just because I see a septa. Okay, there. So you would be. So you have to try to zoom in all the way along its length and see what's going on there. But definitely a lot of life. And then once I take these bins, move them to my nursery bins, I will add more chunkier material to this so that it's not too wet like that. See this testate amoeba here. She's coming out of her test for some reason. I got to figure out why they do that. This is a flagellate. Little guy, he's got a tail. He's stuck there, I think. What do we got coming in here up top? Something's dragging this entire huge aggregate. There's probably got to be a maybe a nematode or something is moving it. I know. Let's zoom out. We'll go to the 100x. Oh, this whole sidewall. I'll tell you what's happening is there's an air bubble here where I'm at, and it's drying out. So it's like a bulldozer just pushing all this way. That's why we were seeing so much in that field of view there. So the ciliate went past. So this is how you can scan for nematodes. I mean, you just go through your sample on a total 100 magnification and then You zoom in. There's one. See that nematode? So I got to kind of decide, okay, about right here is where, if I go into the 400 magnification, I can find her. And we can look, sorry, that computer goes to sleep. We can look and see. Now, her mouth is not where I can see it, so she's stuck in that aggregate, and I'm not going to be able to slow her down unless I got out the heat gun there and cooler or heat her up, stunned her a little bit. So that's how you do that nematode scan, because clearly you should see her really easily. And then we count like this here, testate amoebae. Right there, right there. See all those pieces? That's like a fungal spore. You don't count those fungal spores because basically they're not active, and they can be inactive in the soil for millions of years if the conditions don't become the right conditions to get them to grow. So you can just see testate amoebae, all these testate amoebas. That's super good. That's a protozoa. Those are the guys that are going to build all these microaggregates. They're going to create the glues, and the bacterias create the glues, and then fungal pulls them together so they can have these aeration gaps inside these soils. And then once you get that air moving down there, you know, it's 70% nitrogen. And so they can start to convert that nitrogen from the air down into the soil. See that big long skinny strand? I think that's a huge lactobacilla. Okay, I hope that you all are like me and you can just sit for hours and hours and look at this and see this. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is only this active and only has this much life in it because this is all this organic matter that's being broken down. And see that testate amoeba's coming out of her test there. And I'm not sure what happened here, but it almost looks like the same thing here. And then this one's just starting to build its test. So much to learn yet. Okay, that video is long enough. It was so much fun, like though, searching through here and seeing all this life. Now, this is what I was going to say. On these soils that are out there, have been plowed and basically farmed year after year with the chemicals being added, anhydrous, just it zaps everything in the soil. So then when you look at the samples from those soils, there's nothing in here. You really can't see anything. As far as this life forms go, there's really not much movement. You've got very basic bacteria in there, and you might see your minerals, not as many aggregates, because those over time get broken down because it's sugar that helps keep them molded together, and the more water you get going through there, the sugars get wiped away, bacteria eat that. And so your goal is to keep putting the cover crops on, lots of diversity, to keep pumping sugar into that soil to feed these guys. It's going to be a friggin' heroic achievement if I accomplish it, and why I need all the help I can get collecting materials. And I will try and feed the worms, say leaves, grass clippings. If anybody has those and wants them to be put to a good use, bring them to me, and we will feed these testate amoebas, the worms, be very biodynamic here, and try and start sequestering this carbon back into the soil where it belongs, because it can be done. It'll be easy enough as soon as we come up with the equipment to do it. There's a nice, beneficial, thick, fat little fungus there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 septas there. So, once we get the equipment built, which we're working on, it has been a hell of a year. We've been fighting so many battles. And, oh, a beautiful fungo. Right there. See the septa 1, 2. and the color is beautiful. But we are progressing. I promise. I've made it a long way to get here, and I'm not gonna stop. I hope I make it. Please help. Give me support in any way that you can. Have a wonderful day. Keep researching and seeking the truth.